The cold darkness of space stretched endlessly beyond the small viewport of the astronomad. Stars glimmered faintly, distant pinpricks of light that offered no warmth. Inside the ship, the hum of failing systems was almost comforting, a reminder that at least something still worked. Captain Alina Voss floated near the control panel, her fingers hovering over flickering buttons. She blinked, trying to clear her mind. Everything felt unreal. The crew had been in deep space for weeks on a routine exploration mission. They were supposed to chart new star systems, record anomalies, and return home with data that would advance humanity's understanding of the cosmos. But now, the mission had gone horribly wrong. A sudden energy surge, a violent shudder through the ship, and everything had fallen silent. Communication with Earth had been lost. Navigation systems were offline. The astronomad was drifting, aimless in the infinite void. Elena's voice was calm but tense as she spoke into the intercom. Status report. Everyone check in. One by one, the crew responded. Lieutenant Marco Silva's voice trembled slightly. I'm okay, Captain. Life support is holding, but the readings are off, very off. Dr. Leon Chun's soft voice followed. I think we are outside the mapped regions, Captain. My charts show nothing here. We are truly alone. Alina swallowed hard. Alone, the word echoed through her mind, magnifying the fear that had begun to creep in. The vast emptiness, pressed against them, suffocating, endless. Humans were not meant to float alone in a space so dark, so empty. Yet here they were, drifting toward an unknown fate. Suddenly, the instruments on the main panel flickered. A faint blip appeared on the navigation screen, something small but consistent. Elena leaned forward, eyes narrowing. What is that? Marco leaned over her shoulder. I don't know, it's faint. Almost like a signal, but it doesn't match any known frequencies. Not human, at least not any we've encountered. Doctor. Chun added, it appears to be moving toward us. Or maybe we're moving toward it. Hard to tell in this darkness. The crew exchanged uneasy glances. In deep space, anomalies were dangerous. The smallest disturbance could mean the difference between life and death. Elena made a decision. We follow it, carefully, but we stay alert. Everyone, keep your eyes on your instruments. No sudden moves. As the astronomad adjusted course, a soft vibration ran through the hull. Not a violent shake, but a subtle warning, as if the ship itself were alive and cautious. The crew felt it in their chests, a low hum that matched the growing tension. They were not alone. Something or someone was out there. Hours passed, or maybe days. Time lost meaning in the emptiness. Meals were rationed. Rest cycles were brief. Every sound was amplified in the silent corridors. The blip on the screen remained, unwavering, guiding them deeper into the void. Then, without warning, a burst of static filled the comms. The crew jumped. Signal? Alina whispered. Marco squinted at the screen. Yes, but it's changing. Patterns. I can't. It's almost like it's talking. Dr. Chun leaned close, her brow furrowed. Talking? In what way? Marco shook his head. I don't know. Beeps, pulses, repeating sequences. It might be a message, or it might be a trap. Elena's heart pounded. Deep space was a place of quiet death. Every choice could be their last. Yet there was something irresistible about the signal, a promise of answers, or perhaps survival. She made another decision. We decode it. Let's see what it wants to tell us. The crew gathered around the main console. Fingers flew across. Holographic keyboards. Charts, frequencies, code sequences, all danced before their eyes. Every pulse of the signal seemed to carry weight, as if it had intention. Hours turned into tension-filled nights. Sleep was shallow, dreams haunted by endless darkness. Yet gradually, the patterns began to make sense. It was not random. It was deliberate. Someone or something wanted to communicate, and then the message became clear. Not words, not sentences, but coordinates, unknown coordinates, far outside known star charts. They were a destination, a place to go. Elena stared at the screen. Do we follow it? This could be a trap. Dr. Chun's voice was steady, or it could be hope. If this signal was sent by humans, perhaps they survived. Perhaps they left. Something for us. Marco's fingers hovered over the console. If we follow it, we risk everything. But if we don't, we might drift forever, slowly dying. The decision hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. Finally, Elena nodded. We follow. All engines ready. Prepare for course change. As the ship adjusted, the void outside seemed to close in. The stars blurred into streaks, the endless black pressing against the hull. And yet, the faint signal pulsed steadily, a small light in a sea of darkness. That night, Elena stood alone in the observation deck. She gazed out at the void, her reflection faint against the glass. Fear clutched at her chest, but beneath it, something else, a spark of hope. Humanity had survived worse. They always had. A sudden alarm jolted her. The signal's pulse changed. Faster now. Urgent. Alive. The crew rushed to their stations, eyes wide, hearts racing. Whatever was out there was reacting. Watching, waiting. Dr. Chen's voice broke the tension. It's trying to guide us. Look at the patterns. It changes when we move. Elena's mind raced. Could it be a human-made beacon, or something alien, testing them, luring them closer? Every instinct screamed caution, but every hope, every ounce of human curiosity urged her forward. Hours turned into a tense ballet of maneuvers, calculations, and heart-pounding anticipation. The astronomad twisted through empty space, following the invisible hand of the signal. And through it all, a strange connection formed. The crew felt it. Something intelligent, powerful was out there. And somehow it was reaching for them. Then, suddenly, the screen went black. Instruments failed. Comms dead. The ship floated, inert, in the black. Panic rose, thick and suffocating. Elena's voice was calm, but her hands trembled. Stay focused. We are still alive. We are still here. Seconds stretched into minutes. Then, faintly, a new blip appeared on the screen. The signal. Back. Stronger, clearer. Guiding them forward again. The crew exhaled collectively, relief mingled with fear. This was no random accident, no simple misfire of electronics. Something was deliberately guiding them. Someone or something wanted them to follow. Elena took a deep breath. Prepare for whatever is out there. We don't know what we will find, but we move forward. Humanity doesn't give up. Not here, not now. The void outside remained. Silent, the stars continued to glitter, distant and cold. But within the astronomad, a small flame of hope burned. Humanity, fragile and small against the endless dark, still had the courage to reach for the unknown, and somewhere, far ahead in the emptiness, a signal pulsed, waiting, watching, leading them deeper into the mysteries of space, and perhaps closer to survival or destruction. The astronomad glided silently through the vast black of deep space. Outside the viewport, stars were distant, faint sparks in an endless sea. Inside, the crew worked tirelessly, eyes glued to their consoles. The signal had returned after the brief blackout, pulsing steadily, as if alive, as if it had a purpose. Captain Elena Voss stood at the main console, her fingers tracing the blinking lights. Her face was tense, jaw tight. Everyone, focus. That signal. It's not random. It's trying to tell us something. Dr. Lian Chun adjusted the holographic interface. It's definitely patterned, Captain. Regular pulses, sequences, almost like a language, but not any language I've seen before. Lieutenant Marco Silva frowned, tapping the screen repeatedly. It's almost intelligent. I mean, look. At this, it responds to our movements. Every adjustment we make, the signal changes slightly. It's watching us. Elena nodded slowly. We proceed carefully. Treat it as both a guide and a warning. Keep your wits about you. Every move counts. The crew gathered around the central console. Fingers flew over keyboards, holographic charts, and decoding matrices. Each pulse of the signal was analyzed. Every variation logged. Hours stretched into a tense, silent rhythm. The ship moved deeper into the void, following the invisible thread. Suddenly, the signal changed. It no longer pulsed with uniformity. Faster now. A pattern emerged, a repeating sequence, almost musical. Rising and falling in tones, the instruments converted into data. Dr. Chun's eyes widened. Captain, it's trying to communicate. Look at the sequence. There's a pattern, a rhythm. If we analyze the intervals, we might be able to decode it. Elena's heart raced. Do it. Every second counts. As the crew worked, Marco spoke under his breath. It feels familiar, like I've heard it somewhere, but I can't place it. Dr. Chun frowned. Familiar? How can a signal from deep space feel familiar? Marco shook his head. I don't know. Maybe it's human. Or maybe it's something else, something intelligent. Minutes passed like hours. Slowly, painstakingly, Dr. Chun began to recognize repeated sequences. Patterns that suggested direction, movement, and coordinates. The signal was a map leading them somewhere far beyond the regions charted by human space agencies. Elena leaned over the console, studying the data. Coordinates? Where does it lead? Dr. Chun tapped the display, highlighting a cluster of numbers. I've cross-referenced. With every known star chart, these coordinates are outside map space, completely unknown. If we follow this, we go where no human has ever gone. Marco exhaled, rubbing his temples. And yet, we have to. If the signal is deliberate, it could be a human-made beacon or a trap. There's no middle ground. Elena's gaze hardened. We move forward, prepare the ship, all systems operational. Let's not drift into death without trying. The Astra Nomad adjusted course. The hum of engines filled the corridors, a low vibration resonating through the hull. Outside, stars stretched into streaks of light as the ship accelerated toward the unknown. Time became irrelevant. Hours and days blurred together. The crew ate little, slept less. The signal continued, pulsing, guiding, almost whispering through the instruments. Every now and then, it reacted to their maneuvers, shifting slightly, as if acknowledging their presence. At one point, Marco spoke, voice barely above a whisper. Captain, what if it's not human? What if something alive is guiding us? Elena's eyes met his, steady and unwavering. Then we face it, humanity has survived far worse. We are clever, resourceful, we adapt. That is what makes us human. Dr. Chun glanced at the holographic charts. Look at this. The signal has a rhythm. Almost like it's teaching us something. Coordinates, yes, but also instructions. Maneuvers, timing. It's as if it knows what we need to survive. A chill ran down Elena's spine. A message. From the past, or from the future. Either way, it's meant for us. The tension on the bridge was palpable. Each crew member focused on the decoding, hands moving quickly, eyes darting between screens. Every error could cost them their lives. Suddenly, a warning blared from the navigation console. Unknown object detected. The viewport revealed. Nothing at first, just the endless black. But then, a faint shimmer appeared like a distortion in space itself. Elena's heart skipped a beat. Impossible, she whispered. There's nothing out there. Marco leaned closer. It's real. Look at the readings, mass, movement, energy. Something is there. Following us? Dr. Chun studied the signal. It's responding. Faster now, urgent, the object. It might be linked to the signal, or trying to stop us. The crew exchanged anxious glances. Deep space was unforgiving. A miscalculation, and the astronomad could be lost forever. Elena made a decision. Maintain course. Keep tracking the signal. Stay alert. Whatever is out there, we are human. We do not give up. Hours passed. The shimmer continued to trail. Them, always at the edge of sensors. Occasionally, it flickered in and out of sight, like a shadow in the void. The crew began to feel its presence in subtle ways. The way the lights flickered, instruments glitched, even the soft vibrations. Through the hull dot at night, Elena sat alone in the observation deck, staring out at the endless black. The signal's pulse filled the room, a soft rhythm against the oppressive silence. She thought of Earth, of humanity, fragile and small, yet daring to reach for the stars. A sudden change in the signal broke her reverie. Faster, sharper pulses. Almost like a heartbeat. Elena's eyes widened. "It's alive," she whispered, "or it wants us to think it is." Dr. Chun joined her, analyzing the data in real time. "Captain, it's giving us a sequence now. A pattern within the pattern. I think it's trying to teach us how to survive. How to navigate the void safely. Look here, here and here. The timing is crucial." Marco appeared at the door, voice tense. "If we follow this wrong, we might crash, or worse. Whatever it is, it's not just a signal, it's a guide. But there's intent, intelligence behind it." Elena nodded, determination settling in her chest. "We follow. Every second. Every pulse counts. Humanity doesn't surrender, not now. Not ever." As the ship moved deeper, the void seemed to change. Stars no longer looked distant. The emptiness felt almost alive, responding to their passage. And through it all, the signal pulsed, guiding, teaching, warning. Suddenly, a bright flare lit the forward viewport. Not a star. Not a planet. Something else. Massive, almost imperceptible. At first, then growing larger as the astronomad approached, Marco's voice trembled. What is that?" Dr. Chun studied the instruments. "Energy readings are off the charts. It's huge. Bigger than any ship we've ever seen. And it's moving." Elena's pulse quickened. "Keep calm. We do not panic. We continue to follow the signal. That is our only path forward." The massive object loomed ahead, dark against the light of distant stars. The astronomad adjusted course, guided by the signal. The object seemed to react, shifting slightly, like a predator sensing movement. Dr. Chin's voice was tight with tension. "It's intelligent. It knows we're here, and it's waiting." Elena swallowed hard. "Then we make sure it's the signal that leads us, not our fear." The next hours were a tense ballet of maneuvers and calculations. Every adjustment of the astronomad caused the signal to react. Faster, sharper pulses, guiding them between invisible hazards. At one point, Marco muttered, "It's teaching. US, every move, every second. It's survival training. And it knows we're learning." Elena's eyes narrowed. "Humanity survives by learning, by adapting. That is what makes us strong. That is what this signal knows. That is why it reaches out to us." Double quotes. Then, unexpectedly, the signal paused. A long, deliberate silence. The ship floated in stillness. The crew held their breath, every eye fixed on the screens, every hand ready. At the controls. And then, a single pulse, slow, steady, resolute. The direction clear. The path forward. Elena exhaled, relief mixed with fear. "It's guiding us, showing us the way. We follow." Dr. Chun added softly, "It's more than coordinates now. It's a message. Whoever sent this, whoever designed this, they wanted us to survive, to reach something beyond the void, to see what humans can endure, Marco smiled faintly. We're not just drifting anymore. We're being led. By someone or something that believes in us. Elena's heart swelled. Humanity, fragile and small against the infinite dark, still had the courage to survive. And somewhere ahead, the signal pulsed, alive and intelligent, reaching out to guide them deeper into the mysteries of space. The void outside remained silent, vast, and dangerous. But inside the astronomad, hope burned. A faint, steady hope. Like a heartbeat, pulsing through the endless darkness. And as the crew followed the signal, unaware of what lay ahead, one truth became clear. Survival was possible. Humanity's ingenuity, courage, and persistence had carved a path through the void, and the signal, whatever its origin, human or otherwise, would ensure they did not drift alone. The unknown waited ahead, massive and mysterious. But the crew of the astronomad, guided by the signal, pressed forward. Every pulse, every flicker of light, every calculated maneuver brought them closer to answers, closer to survival, and closer to a future in the endless darkness of space. The astronomad followed the signal deeper into uncharted space. The stars outside glimmered faintly, distant and cold, as if warning the crew of the emptiness surrounding them. Inside the ship, tension was thick. Every crew member felt it, the unknown pressing against their minds, the uncertainty gnawing at their nerves. Captain Elena Voss stood at the observation deck, her eyes scanning the dark expanse. The signal pulsed steadily on the console behind her. Each beat seemed to call to them, pulling them forward. It was no longer just coordinates, it felt personal, intentional, almost like a hand reaching through the void. Dr. Lian Chun approached her quietly. Captain, the signal is stronger now. It's guiding us to something. I can't tell what yet, but it's massive. Beyond anything we've ever mapped. Elena's jaw tightened. Then we find it. Whatever it is, it's meant for us. Humanity doesn't ignore signs in the darkness. Lieutenant Marco Silva stood nearby, fingers tapping nervously on the console. Do you ever wonder if we're being watched? Not just by the signal, but something else? Something alive out there? Elena glanced at him. Of course. But we don't stop. Fear cannot guide us. Curiosity, courage. Those are our tools. The astronomad moved silently, gliding through the void, following the pulsing beacon. Time had lost meaning. Days and nights blurred into an endless stream of calculations, maneuvering, and anticipation. Sleep was shallow, rationed. Meals were skipped in favor of analyzing the signal, understanding its patterns, and preparing for whatever lay ahead. Suddenly, the signal changed. A sharp, almost urgent pulse cut through the calm rhythm. The ship shuddered slightly, as if responding to an unseen force. The crew rushed to their stations. What now? Marco asked, eyes wide. Dr. Chun's fingers flew over the keyboard. It's different, the signal. It's pointing us toward a structure, something huge. Energy readings are consistent with a massive vessel. Elena felt a chill. A ship? Human or alien? Dr. Chun shook her head. Unknown. But it's definitely artificial. And abandoned, I think. No life signs. The astronomad adjusted course, moving toward the coordinates. The blackness outside seemed to grow denser, heavier, as if space itself was aware of their approach. Then, in the distance, a shape emerged vast, dark against the faint light of distant stars. It's enormous, Marco whispered. And it's human. Elena's eyes widened. Impossible. That ship was lost decades ago. Thought to be destroyed in the outer sectors. Dr. Chen studied the holographic display. The design matches old human deep space exploration. Vessels. It must be one of the first long-range missions. But the energy readings, they're faint, almost dead. The astronomad approached cautiously. The ghostly silhouette of the ancient vessel loomed ahead. Its hull was scarred panels, Missing, instruments silent. It floated like a forgotten relic in the endless void. Elena's voice was soft, reverent. This is a ghost of humanity. A warning, or maybe a message. Marco's fingers hovered over the controls, or both. Look at it, it's huge. How? Did it survive this long? And why is the signal leading us here? Dr. Chun tapped the console. I think. It wants us to find it, to learn from it. There might be logs, messages, anything left behind by the crew. Elena nodded. Prepare for docking, slowly, no mistakes. The astronomad moved closer, engines barely humming. Every vibration echoed through the corridors, a reminder of the fragility of human life in the void. Docking clamps extended, locking onto the ancient vessel. The airlock hissed as it sealed, and the crew prepared to board. Elena led the way, her hand on the control panel. The interior of the ghost ship was dark, corridors empty, lights flickering occasionally. The hum of ancient systems filled the silence. Every step they took echoed through the metal halls, a ghostly rhythm that made their skin crawl. Looks like no one survived, Marco whispered. But the ship is intact, mostly. Dr. Chun pointed to a panel. Captain, these logs. They're old, but they might still work. Someone tried to record everything before the ship went dark. Elena nodded. Play them. Let's see what we're dealing with. A crackling voice filled the corridor. It was faint, distorted, but unmistakably human. This is the crew of the Eclipse Voyager. We are lost. Systems failing. Communications cut. We drift in the void. If anyone finds this, know that we fought to survive. The crew exchanged glances. These were humans long gone, speaking across decades through the darkness. Fear mingled with awe. Humanity had reached here before and failed. Yet somehow, their message survived. Dr. Chun continued to play the logs. One by one, they revealed the last desperate days of the Eclipse Voyager. Shortages of oxygen, failed repairs, crew members succumbing to space itself. Yet beneath the despair, a determination lingered. Every log entry spoke of hope, of trying, of refusing to surrender. Marco swallowed hard. They were just like us, trying to survive against impossible odds. Elena's eyes narrowed. And they left something behind, the signal. It must be connected to this ship, a guide, a warning, a gift. Hours passed as they explored the ancient vessel. Data cores, navigation logs, engineering diagrams, all preserved in the ghostly corridors. The signal pulsed stronger near certain sections, almost leading them to hidden caches, secret compartments, and encrypted messages. Dr. Chun discovered one such compartment. Captain, this is remarkable. Coordinates, star charts, survival, protocols, even instructions for dealing with unknown hazards. Whoever sent the signal, it's human. A human message left to guide future explorers. Elena felt a surge of hope. Humanity never truly dies in space. We leave traces, lessons, and warnings. And now, it's our turn to survive, to continue. Suddenly, a low vibration ran through the hull. Instruments flickered. Marco jumped to the console. Something's out there. The readings. Massive energy spike. Not part of the ship. Something approaching. Dr. Chun's voice was tense. Captain, could be an alien presence. Could be responding to our presence here. The Eclipse Voyager logs mentioned anomalies. Perhaps they encountered this as well. Elena's heart pounded. We don't panic, stay focused. Learn from what they left behind and be ready for anything. The crew moved quickly, cataloging logs, extracting data, and preparing for departure. The ghost ship had given them knowledge and possibly a second chance. Humanity's spirit, though long gone in the Eclipse Voyager, still reached across time to guide them. As the crew prepared to leave, Marco looked back at the shadowy corridors. It's eerie, like we're walking among ghosts, but somehow comforting. We're not the first to face the void alone. Dr. Chun nodded. And if we survive, we'll leave something behind too. For those who come after us, humanity endures. Alina's voice was firm. Exactly, survival is our legacy. Every human who reaches the stars carries the courage of those who came before. And now we follow the signal forward, we continue. The astronomad undocked, moving slowly away from the ghostly vessel. The signal pulsed steadily ahead, stronger than ever. It guided them deeper into the unknown, through dangers unseen, towards something monumental. Outside the viewport, the void remained black and endless. Yet within the astronomad, hope burned brighter. Humanity had survived against impossible odds before. And with the guidance of those who had gone before, the crew knew they had a chance. Suddenly, a blip appeared on the sensors. Not part of the ghost ship. Something alive, massive, watching, waiting. The signal pulsed urgently, almost warning them. Elena's voice was steady, but her eyes were sharp. Prepare for anything. We've learned from the past, and now we face the present. Humanity does not surrender. The crew tightened their grips on the controls, eyes fixed on the approaching anomaly. Every pulse of the signal seemed to resonate with their hearts, a rhythm of courage, determination, and survival. Hours stretched into tense silence. The massive object drew closer, energy readings fluctuating, instruments warning of potential hazards. The crew remained focused, guided by the signal and the lessons of those who had come before. Dr. Chin whispered, almost to herself. They fought to survive, and now we do. The ghosts of humanity, they guide us. Marco's voice broke the tension. Then let's make sure we honor them by surviving, by reaching wherever this signal leads. Elena's eyes glinted with determination. Exactly, we are human. We endure, we explore, and we adapt. That is our strength. That is our legacy. The void outside remains silent, vast, and dangerous. Yet within the astronomad, the crew felt a connection across decades, across the stars, with those who had faced the darkness before them. Humanity's past had reached out through the void, leaving guidance, warning, and hope. The astronomad moved forward, guided by the pulse of the signal, deeper into the unknown. Every beat was a heartbeat of courage. Every flicker of light, a reminder that humanity endures. And somewhere, in the vast emptiness of space, the ghosts of humanity watched silently, their legacy alive in the crew of the astronomad. The journey was far from over. The unknown waited ahead, full of danger and discovery. But the crew, armed with knowledge, courage, and the pulse of the signal, pressed onward. Humanity's spirit, though tested and stretched across time and space, would not be broken. And as the astronomad followed the signal deeper into the darkness, one truth became clear. In the void, humans endure, learn, and survive, no matter the cost. The astronomad moved cautiously through the deep darkness of space. Every system was on high alert. Outside the viewport, the stars glittered faintly, but there was something unsettling about the void beyond. The crew felt it too, a presence, unseen but palpable, like eyes watching them from the blackness. Captain Alina Voss stood at the bridge, her hands gripping the console. Keep scanning. Every sensor, every instrument. I want to know what's out there. Dr. Leon Chun nodded, her fingers flying over the holographic interface. Captain, energy readings are fluctuating. Massive spikes. Not like anything we've encountered before. Lieutenant Marco Silva's voice was tight. It's not natural. Nothing in the star charts explains this. It's intelligent, watching us. Elena's jaw tightened. And we prepare. Humanity has faced unknowns before. We survive, we adapt, we endure. The signal that had guided them from the ghost ship pulsed steadily, almost urgent now, as if warning them. Every beat felt alive, and the crew followed it faithfully, knowing it had kept them safe so far. Hours passed. The astronomad glided closer to the source of the mysterious energy. The readings grew stronger. Instruments began to glitch unpredictably. A soft vibration ran through the hull, subtle but constant. Dr. Chun frowned at the display. It's close. Much closer than I thought possible. The energy signature. It's massive. Could be a vessel, or a living entity. Something alien. Marco swallowed hard. Alien? Out here? Why now? Elena's gaze was sharp, because it knows we are here, and it's assessing us. Stay focused, don't panic. Humanity survives through intelligence, not fear. Suddenly, the viewport shimmered. A vast shadow appeared against the faint starlight. It was enormous, impossible by human standards. The crew gasped. The shape shifted slightly, as if aware of their presence. Good God, Marco whispered. It's huge, and it's alive. Dr. Chun's fingers trembled slightly over the controls. Captain, it's reacting to the signal. The energy spikes coincide with our movement. It's intelligent. Watching, testing, learning. Elena's heart pounded. Then we must be careful. One wrong move and it could destroy us, but we do not stop. Humanity never stops. The alien shadow moved gracefully, almost silently, a massive predator drifting through the void. The astronomad adjusted course, following the signal and trying to avoid the entity's attention. Every adjustment caused a ripple in the energy readings. The shadow was tracking them, learning their patterns. Hours turned into tense silence. The crew worked tirelessly, analyzing the signal and the alien's movements. Every pulse of the beacon guided them, keeping them just out of reach of danger. Marco broke the silence. It's like a game. The signal is leading us. And the alien is playing too, testing us. Dr. Chun nodded. If we follow the signal exactly, we might survive. But one mistake, and it will strike. Elena's voice was steady, but her eyes were sharp. Then we follow. Every pulse, every beat, every instruction. Humanity survives by adapting. That is what we do now. The alien shadow drifted closer. Its form was almost invisible, a ripple in space itself, massive yet silent. The crew felt its presence in their bones. The hull vibrated slightly, instruments flickered, lights dimmed and brightened unpredictably. Suddenly, the signal pulsed. Faster. It seemed almost urgent, warning them. Elena nodded at Dr. Chun. Adjust course as indicated. Follow it precisely. Dr. Chun's fingers flew over the controls. Course set. Following the signal. The astronomad moved carefully, weaving through invisible hazards, guided by the pulsing beacon. Outside, the alien shadow shifted, responding to every move. The tension was suffocating. Every crew member felt their pulse racing, hearts pounding. In rhythm with the signal, hours passed in this tense ballet. The alien shadow remained close, testing, observing. The crew's focus never wavered. Elena reminded them constantly, stay alert. Trust the signal. Humanity survives through courage and intelligence. Suddenly, a warning blared from the sensors. Massive energy surge detected. The viewport shimmered violently. The alien shadow was changing shape, expanding, reacting to the ship's maneuvers. It was no longer a silent observer, it was active, testing their limits. Marco's voice was tight. It's learning, it's adapting to us. Dr. Chun nodded, her fingers moving faster. We have to outthink it. Follow the signal perfectly. Every instruction is crucial. One error, and we're done. Elena's eyes narrowed. We are human, we endure, we adapt. That is what makes us strong. Focus, we will survive. The alien shadow shifted again, massive and terrifying. Energy readings spiked. The hull groaned under the strain. The astronomad moved carefully, following the signal. Every pulse guided them past hidden dangers, near misses that could have ended their mission. Suddenly, the shadow pulsed with a blinding light. The crew shielded their eyes. Instruments went haywire. Alarms blared. Alina barked orders. Maintain course. Follow the signal. Do not panic. Dr. Chun's hands flew over the console. Captain, the signal. It's compensating for the energy spikes. We can survive this if we stay precise. Marco gritted his teeth. Never thought I'd see the day we're being hunted by. Whatever. This is, and survive. Elena's voice was firm. Humanity survives impossible odds every day. This is no different. Focus. Adapt. Endure. The astronomad twisted and turned, guided by the signal. The alien shadow followed, massive, silent, intelligent. It observed, tested, and learned. Every pulse of the beacon guided them through near collisions and invisible hazards, weaving a path between survival and destruction. Hours passed. The alien shadow began to retreat slightly, almost as if acknowledging the crew's skill. The tension eased a fraction, though fear remained. The crew had survived encounters that would have ended others. Humanity's ingenuity had kept them alive. Dr. Chun glanced at the display. Captain, the signal, it's stronger ahead. The path is clear, whatever the shadow is. It seems to be letting us go, at least for now, Marco exhaled. We made it, barely. Alana's voice was calm but proud. We followed the signal. We adapted. We endured. Humanity survives. Remember this moment. The alien shadow slowly faded into the darkness, leaving the astronomad in relative safety. Outside, the void stretched endlessly, silent, cold. Yet inside the ship, the crew felt a surge of accomplishment. They had faced something beyond comprehension and survived. Dr. Chin pointed to the console. Captain, the signal now shows a destination. Coordinates unknown, deep within uncharted space, but it's stable, clear, safe for now. Elena nodded. Then we follow. Humanity never stops. We push forward. No matter the darkness, no matter the danger. The crew prepared for the next leg of their journey. The alien shadow had tested them, but it had also proven something. They could endure. They were human, clever, adaptable, resilient, and the signal, whatever its origin, human or otherwise, would continue to guide them. Hours later, as the ship moved deeper into the void, the crew reflected on what they had witnessed. The alien presence had been massive, intelligent, dangerous. Yet they had survived by trusting the signal, by staying calm, and by relying on human ingenuity. Marco leaned back, exhausted. I never imagined surviving something like that. And yet, here we are. Dr. Chun smiled faintly. It's proof of human endurance. We learn, we adapt, we survive. That is our strength. Elena gazed at the stars ahead. And that strength will guide us further. The signal has led us this far. Now it leads us to what comes next, whatever it may be. The void outside remained, silent, full of danger and unknowns. Yet within the astronomad, hope burned brightly. Humanity had survived impossible odds before. And with the guidance of the signal and their own courage and intelligence, they would face the next challenge. A faint pulse on the console drew Elena's attention. The signal had changed again, faster, more urgent. It seemed to whisper, prepare. The next trial is coming. Elena's voice was steady, determined. We are ready. Humanity survives. We adapt. We endure. Whatever comes next, we will face it together. The alien shadow might return. The void might try to swallow them. But humanity, small and fragile against the infinite dark, would not break. And as the astronomad followed the signal deeper into uncharted space, one truth was clear. Survival was not guaranteed, But humans had the courage, the intelligence, and the will to endure. And in the darkness ahead, something waited, something. Alive, intelligent, and vast. The crew would meet it soon. But for now, they pressed forward, guided by the pulse of the signal and the enduring spirit of humanity. The astronomad glided silently through the endless void. Outside, the stars were faint, distant sparks in a black sea. The pulse of the signal had become urgent, faster, almost like a heartbeat. Every crew member felt it in their chest, driving them forward, warning them, guiding them. Captain Alina Voss stood at the bridge, eyes fixed on the instruments. Everyone, prepare for the next stage. The signal is guiding us. But I can feel the danger ahead. Stay sharp. Dr. Lian Chun tapped the console, analyzing the data. The readings ahead are massive, unlike anything we've encountered. Energy surges, distortions in space. Whatever is out there is intelligent and powerful. This is no ordinary obstacle. Lieutenant Marco Silva swallowed hard, glancing at the viewport. I can feel it too. Something's waiting. Something massive, and it knows we're coming. Elena's jaw tightened. Then we proceed carefully. Humanity survives because we are clever, resourceful, and courageous. We survive by thinking, by adapting, by taking calculated risks. This is one of those moments. The astronomad adjusted course, moving toward the coordinates given by the signal. The void outside seemed to thicken, darker, heavier, as if the darkness itself opposed their progress. Instruments began to fluctuate, the hum of the ship changing subtly. As though the ship felt the threat as well. Suddenly, a massive shadow appeared on the sensors. The crew froze. It was larger than anything they had faced before beyond imagination, a living presence that pulsed with energy. The alien shadow from before? Possibly, but this was stronger, more deliberate, more aware. Dr. Chun whispered. Captain, it's immense and intelligent. I can see patterns in its movements, almost like it's predicting our actions. Marco's hands trembled on the console. It's assessing us, deciding what to do. Alina's voice was firm. Then we act with precision. Humanity survives through intelligence, not fear. Follow the signal. Every pulse, every instruction matters. This is our last gambit. The signal pulsed urgently. It seemed to react to the massive entity, guiding the astronomad through invisible hazards and distorted fields of energy. The ship twisted, turned, and weaved carefully, avoiding sudden spikes in energy that could tear it apart. Hours passed in tense silence. The alien presence loomed, massive and calculating. Every maneuver of the astronomad caused a reaction, but the signal continued to guide them. Each pulse was a lifeline, a thread through the deadly void. Suddenly, an alarm blared. Energy surge detected, hull integrity compromised. Marco shouted, "It's attacking or testing us." Dr. Chun's fingers flew over the controls. Captain, the signal is compensating. Follow it precisely. We can survive this. Alina's eyes narrowed. Then we follow. Humanity has faced impossible odds before. We will endure, adapt, survive. The ship twisted sharply, guided by the signal. Outside, the massive entity shifted, reacting to every move. It pulsed, a ripple of energy washing over the astronomad, instruments flickering under the strain. The crew held their breath, following each instruction, trusting the beacon, their only guide through the storm. Hours of tension passed. Every movement mattered. Every pulse of the signal was a heartbeat in the darkness. And then, slowly, the entity paused. It loomed vast and silent, observing. The crew exhaled slightly, though the danger was far from over. Dr. Chun analyzed the instruments. Captain, the signal is leading us to a weak point. Something within the entity's energy field. A path. A way to pass safely if we follow. It exactly. Elena's lips tightened. Then that's what we do. Humanity survives by taking risks, by trusting intelligence, by acting decisively. The astronomad adjusted its course, threading carefully through the energy fields. The massive entity shifted slightly with each move, as if testing, but did not strike. The signal pulsed, guiding, warning, ensuring survival. Suddenly, another surge hit the ship. Lights flickered, alarms screamed, and the hull vibrated violently. Marco yelled, "Captain! Hull breach imminent." Elena's voice was calm, commanding. "Dr. Chun, follow the signal. Every instruction. We survive this. Humanity endures." Dr. Chun's hands moved with precision. "Course corrected. Shield redistribution complete. We can make it." The ship twisted, turned, and passed through the dangerous field. The massive entity loomed, then receded slightly, seemingly allowing them passage. The crew's relief was tempered by caution. They knew the danger was far from over. Hours later, the astronomad approached a strange structure. It was massive, unlike anything in human records. The signal pulsed toward it, stronger, almost urgent. It seemed to call them forward, promising safety or perhaps a challenge. Marco stared in awe. "Captain, it's enormous. And alive. Or maybe a machine, I can't tell, but it's beautiful. And terrifying." Dr. Chun nodded. "The signal is guiding us inside. Whatever this is, it's the purpose of the journey. Humanity's last gambit." Elena's eyes were steady. "Then we enter. We have survived the void, the shadows, the unknown. Now we see what awaits. Humanity does not retreat." The astronomad entered the structure cautiously. The interior was vast, almost impossibly large. Lights, energy fields, and strange symbols pulsed throughout, responding to the ship's presence. The signal guided them deeper, through corridors of energy, past obstacles that tested their skill and courage. Marco muttered. "It's like a maze, but alive. It reacts to us, learns from us, tests us." Dr. Chun whispered. "Exactly. The feel signal is guiding us, but this place is intelligent. It knows we are human. It tests our endurance, our ingenuity, our courage." Elena nodded. "Then we continue. Humanity survives because we endure, because we think, because we adapt. This is the final test before the unknown." Hours stretched into tense navigation. Energy surges, shifting corridors, and strange phenomena challenged the crew constantly. But the signal pulsed steadily, guiding them safely. Every pulse was a lifeline, every instruction a key to survival. Suddenly, a massive chamber opened ahead. At its center, a glowing core pulsed with immense energy. The signal pulsed faster, almost joyous. The crew realized that this was the purpose of their journey, the heart of the entity, the source of the signal. Dr. Chun gasped. "Captain, it's a core. Immense energy, knowledge, maybe even a power source beyond comprehension." Marco whispered, "And the signal, it led us here. Humanity's last chance, our final gambit." Elena's voice was steady, determined. "Then we proceed carefully. Humanity survives through intelligence, courage, and adaptation. We endure. We take this opportunity, and we prevail." The crew approached the core, instruments recording, hearts pounding. Energy pulsed around them, almost alive, reacting to their presence. The signal guided every move, every approach, ensuring they survived. Suddenly, the entity appeared not threatening, but vast, intelligent, and aware. Its presence filled the chamber, yet the signal pulsed clearly. It was a test, a challenge, and perhaps a gift. Marco swallowed hard. "Captain, it's alive, and it knows we are human. It accepts us, maybe even trusts us." Dr. Chun nodded. "The signal, it's more than coordinates. It's a guide, a teacher, and this entity. It recognizes human courage and ingenuity, Elena's eyes glimmered with determination. Then we honor it. Humanity survives. We adapt, we endure. And we take this opportunity to continue, to thrive, to reach beyond the void. Hours later, the crew had collected data, understood parts of the core, and realized the scale of what lay before them. The signal pulsed steadily, now calm, guiding them back, ensuring a safe exit. The alien entity observed silently, vast, intelligent. And patient. Marco whispered, "We made it. Humanity's last gambit succeeded. Against all odds, we survived, and we learned. We endured." Dr. Chun smiled faintly. "It's proof. Humanity can survive anything. If we trust ourselves, follow knowledge, and adapt, there is no limit." Elena's voice was firm. "Remember this. Humanity survives because we are clever, adaptable, and courageous. We endure the impossible, and now we continue. Whatever awaits in the void, we are ready." The astronomad departed the massive structure, the signal still pulsing gently, guiding them forward. Outside, the void stretched endlessly, silent and dangerous. Yet inside the ship, hope burned brighter than ever. Humanity had faced impossible odds and survived. The unknown lay ahead, vast and mysterious. But the crew of the astronomad, guided by the pulse of the signal and the enduring spirit of humanity, pressed forward. Every beat of the signal was a heartbeat of courage, intelligence, and survival. And as the stars stretched endlessly beyond the viewport, one truth was clear: humanity survives, adapts, and endures. Against shadows, alien intelligence, and the infinite void, humans never surrender. The final trial was complete. Humanity had won for now. But the journey was far from over. The signal pulsed onward, deeper into the darkness, leading the way toward an uncertain yet hopeful future. The astronomad floated through the endless darkness of space. The void stretched infinitely, black and silent, broken only by faint stars and the constant pulse of the mysterious signal. It had led them this far, through dangers unimaginable, testing their courage, skill, and determination. Now at the final stage of their journey, the crew could feel that something monumental awaited them. Captain Elena Voss stood at the bridge, her eyes fixed on the pulsing beacon. "This is it. Whatever lies ahead, we face it together. Humanity survives because we endure, adapt, and overcome. And now we triumph." Dr. Leon Chun studied the instruments, her fingers flying over the holographic displays. "Captain, the energy readings ahead are massive, beyond anything we've ever measured. Whatever is there, it's powerful, intelligent, and aware of our presence. The signal. It's guiding us safely through it." Lieutenant Marco Silva's voice was tight with tension. "I can feel it too. The void is alive here, watching, testing. But the signal, it's like a heartbeat, leading us forward." Elena's jaw tightened. "Then we follow. Humanity survives because we think, because we adapt, because we never give up. Every pulse, every beat, is a guide through the impossible." The astronomad moved carefully, guided by the signal. Outside, the darkness seemed heavier, almost alive. Instruments fluctuated, warning of energy surges, gravitational distortions, and unknown hazards. The crew followed the pulse, trusting it, knowing it had brought them safely through worse. Suddenly, a massive shadow appeared ahead. Unlike anything they had faced before, it stretched across the void, enormous, intelligent, and filled with energy. The alien presence from previous encounters? Possibly, but larger, more aware, and more deliberate. Dr. Chun's voice was tense. "Captain, it's immense, and it's observing us. Almost judging us." Marco swallowed hard. "It's testing us again. But why?" Elena's eyes narrowed. "Because we are human. We endure. We adapt. We survive." That is why it watches, why it tests, why the signal guides us. Focus. Stay precise. Humanity triumphs through intelligence and courage. The signal pulsed urgently. Each beat seemed alive, guiding them past hazards, twisting corridors of distorted space and energy fields that could tear the ship apart. The astronomad followed each instruction perfectly, every maneuver crucial. Hours passed in tense silence. The alien presence loomed, massive, intelligent, observing their every move. But the crew stayed calm, trusting the signal, relying on their skill, and remembering every lesson learned from previous trials. Suddenly, alarms blared. Hull integrity compromised. Energy surge detected. Marco shouted, "It's attacking!" Or testing us. Dr. Chun's fingers moved rapidly over the controls. "Captain, the signal is compensating. We can survive this if we follow it exactly." Elena's voice was firm, commanding. "Then follow it. Humanity survives through intelligence, courage, and adaptation. We endure." The ship twisted, turned, and weaved through the deadly energy fields. Outside, the massive entity pulsed, responding to every move. Instruments flickered under the strain. The crew held their breath, trusting every beat of the signal, knowing it was their lifeline. Hours later, the danger began to ease. The entity observed silently, no longer aggressive, but massive, intelligent, and patient. The astronomad moved closer to the source of the signal, a structure, enormous and ancient, glowing faintly in the void. Marco whispered, "Captain, it's beautiful, vast, alive, or maybe a machine. I can't tell. But it's magnificent." Dr. Chun nodded. "The signal is guiding us inside. Whatever this is, it's the reason for the journey. Humanity's ultimate trial, and perhaps a gift." Elena's voice was steady. "Then we enter. Humanity survives the impossible. We endure, we adapt, we triumph. Let's see what awaits." The ship glided into the structure carefully. Inside, massive corridors stretched endlessly, glowing with strange energy. The signal pulsed, guiding them deeper. Obstacles appeared, but each one was navigable if they trusted the pulse and followed every instruction. Marco muttered, "It's like the structure is alive, testing us, learning from us, responding to every move." Dr. Chun whispered, "Exactly. The signal is a guide, but this place, it's intelligent. It knows we are human. It tests our endurance, our intelligence, our courage." Elena nodded. "Then we continue. Humanity survives by thinking, adapting, and acting decisively. This is the final trial before triumph." Hours of careful navigation passed. Energy surges, shifting corridors, and strange phenomena challenged the crew constantly. Yet the signal pulsed steadily, guiding them safely, ensuring survival. Every pulse was a heartbeat, every instruction a key to endurance. Finally, a massive chamber opened before them. At its center, a glowing core pulsed with immense energy. The signal pulsed faster, almost jubilant. The crew realized this was the purpose of their journey, the heart of the entity, the source of the signal. Dr. Chun gasped, "Captain, it's a core. Immense energy, knowledge, maybe even a power beyond comprehension." Marco whispered, "And the signal? It led us here. Humanity's final trial. Our last gambit, and we succeeded." Elena's eyes glimmered with determination. "Then we honor it. Humanity survives. We adapt. We endure. And we claim this victory, not for ourselves alone, but for every human who dared to dream, explore, and survive." The crew approached the core cautiously. Energy pulsed around them, almost alive, reacting to their presence. The signal guided every move, ensuring they would survive this final moment. Suddenly, the entity appeared not aggressive, but vast, intelligent, aware. Its presence filled the chamber, yet the signal pulsed clearly. It was a test, a challenge, and now a recognition of their success. Marco swallowed hard. Captain, it's alive, and it knows we are human. It accepts us. Maybe even respects us. That double quotes. Dr. Chun nodded. The signal. It's more than coordinates. It's a guide, a teacher. And this entity recognizes human courage and ingenuity. Elena's voice was firm. Then we proceed carefully. Humanity survives because we are clever, adaptable, and courageous. We endure the impossible. And now we triumph. Hours later, the crew had collected data, understood parts of the core, and realized the magnitude of what lay before them. The signal pulsed steadily, now calm, guiding them back toward safety. The entity observed silently, vast, intelligent. Patient. Marco whispered, "We did it. Humanity's signal triumph. Against the impossible we survived, and we learned. We endured." Dr. Chun smiled faintly. "It proves that humans can survive anything. If we trust ourselves, follow knowledge, and adapt, there are no limits." Elena gazed at the stars ahead. "Remember this. Humanity survives because we are clever, adaptable, courageous. We endure the impossible. And now we move forward. Stronger, wiser, and ready for the future." The astronomad departed the structure, the signal pulsing gently, guiding them onward. Outside, the void stretched endlessly, silent and dangerous. Yet inside the ship, hope burned brighter than ever. Humanity had faced impossible odds and triumphed. The unknown lay ahead, vast and mysterious. But the crew, guided by the pulse of the signal and the enduring spirit of humanity, pressed forward. Every beat of the signal was a heartbeat of courage, intelligence, and survival. And as the stars stretched endlessly beyond the viewport, one truth became clear. Humanity survives, adapts, and endures. Against shadows, alien intelligence, and the infinite void, humans never surrender. The final challenge was complete. Humanity had triumphed not through force, but through courage, ingenuity, and the enduring spirit of survival. The astronomad continued its journey, carrying the pulse of humanity across the void, leaving a beacon for those who would come after. In the black expanse of space, one simple truth echoed: humanity endures. Against impossible odds, against the darkness, against the unknown. And as the astronomad followed the pulse onward, humanity's signal shone brightly in the void, a triumph, a warning, and a promise. We are here, we survive, and we will not be forgotten.